Hey guys, Tightrope here, bringing you a 1v1 today. We are on Crossing in the Woods. Wave today spawning on the top side is Across the Pacific. Immediately locked into Australians and spawning out a squad of them. And down the bottom we have SEEETH777 with Wehrmacht going for Luftwaffe. This is a Patreon backer submitted game in terms of rankings. Cross Pacific around 300, SEEETH around 150. So, seeing for Empire, of course, coming in later now with that paradrop deployment.
Engineers trained and ready to go. Australian infantry.
That does mean maybe, you know, somewhat equaling start of Across the Pacific. In terms of the Aussie coming in super fast. Getting credit for the quick capture. Problem with going for the kitten is, you know, it can be tough to keep up. Especially against Australians who just hit so hard. That's what problem do you have when you fight against riflemen? Works okay against, you know, machine guns because then you can spot for them, outposition them, but you get run over by riflemen. It's a similar story with Australians. So see, testing his luck here. Just go AFK. I think he might literally have just gone AFK or lagged out or something. Oops. It's like he maybe queued up a bunch of orders there. I don't know what happened, but... Okay, there's a big donation in favor of Across the Pacific there straight away. Another squad of Empires coming in. Rebuilding it! Rebuilding it, really? Okay, well that's unexpected, something I don't think I've seen before. So Across Pacific, massively overwhelming in terms of army strength right now. It's time to go across the water. Usually I come out to this side from the top spawn. Just continue along the way, make sure I wire off the cutoff a bit on my way through. But there's not as punishing as it was in COH3 because, you know, the water doesn't give you negative cover anymore. So a bit of a problem here for Across the Pacific. Did see that these Empires were together, but then it's kind of like spread out. A couple squads though from the other side now. These guys have held out well from behind the light cover. SEEETH has gone for infantry officers' quarters. So it's going to give these guys out of combat healing, which is a pretty big power spike for Empires. You can delay your healing a lot as the Wehrmacht player. Kind of offsets the cost of going for this early on. Double sappers in here, able to get in close and win. Slow switch in priority. Back over to the Pioneer. So Across Pacific now floating a lot of manpower. Should either have brought in another squad. Well, we probably should have done that.
We're losing a munitions point to enemy action.
Or yeah. Should be another squad or a Vickers or something on the field right now for Across the Pacific. And because of that, in spite of getting the kill on the first Kettenkrad, map control's pretty even. In spite of having, you know, on top of that, the really good capture rates of the Australians. Okay, did tick up and supporting a regular section. I think regular sections, it's fine.
Enemy ground forces have claimed a sector.
You know, sometimes I do that when I'm playing against DAC especially. So I can have some AT rifles as an option when you're playing with Australians. To help handle their light vehicle spam in the early game.
New infantry section is ready for battle.
We got a bunch of mines.
We're losing a victory point.
Ticked up and has gone for healing now as well. So spending quite a lot of time off the map. So yeah, Definitely not capitalizing off the early start. Really strong start. Didn't find times to like maybe go do some capping on the edge of the map with like a low health squad after the combat over here. So map control shouldn't be this bad for AcrossThePacific given what has transpired in the game so far. Might have just seen that mine getting finished up. I'm not sure.
The enemy has pushed us back from our sector.
But yeah, gonna need some
We are
sweepers.
losing a victory point to enemy action.
Usually when I'm against Wehrmacht, I'm not as interested in planting heaps and heaps of sandbags, just because they have so many units that can wire stuff off. So make it a lower priority. There's a mine. There's another mine.
Our opponent is in control of
So
all
at this
victory
stage,
points.
definitely it would be get sweeper on the sapper right now. After hitting 2 mines like that back to back, and with lots of Foshampo and the kitten on the field for mine planting, it's time to sweep.
You have 3 command points available.
So yeah, a lot of mines getting triggered right now for AcrossThePacific, and SEEETH had really good map control in this window, while AcrossThePacific was off the field waiting for the healing to come on. Heavy cover doing pretty well. AcrossThePacific making his move over to the garrison. He's trying to hold. Not going to be able to do the job against the Australians, though. If they did drop them down to 1 model, maybe they could retreat over the mine and die. So I think it's like worth an attempt. Oh, that's very, very bad. So right here as well, even if that was going to happen, the squad probably should have been closing in to just help in the fight in the first place. Got some Fallschirmjäger on the field now. Humber's coming in, but this is on the late side for a Humber just because the map control over the last couple of minutes has been so bad with the healing before this as well. And yeah, as a late Humber, Humber I think is a good choice because obviously Fallschirmjägers have no snare. So unless they go for grenade launches, even then, you know, so nimble, you're not going to get hit by many grenades. So on paper, it's definitely a very good idea, the Humber, but this one right now is coming in late. So like with Australians, with the strong map control you usually get with an Australian start, usually you can have this out on the field pre-6 minutes. So this is a pretty stark time difference, really. But has got the sweeper, which is good to see after hitting so many mines. Gonna need sweepers on both sappers for sure. And this is a situation where the Humber should be trying to cut an angle. Get around to nullify the cover. Shooting at a unit behind cover, it just takes too long to chip through. You want to gain ground faster than that. Don't want to get too reckless, like drive super far forwards. Then maybe you're going to get shot by an AT gun twice by getting too close. So you still want to be smart about it. But yeah, you want to cut an angle if possible. Speaking of AT guns, there is one on the field, but there's plenty of room on this map to outposition a single AT gun with almost no snares. There's one Fallschirmjäger on the field, but did just retreat. Did also go for officers' quarters from Panzergrenadier Company as well, so instant vet 1 on the Fallschirmjäger 2. Yeah, this is the dream scenario for the Humber here. So far you can see a huge KD differential. Okay, AT gun shot. AcrossThePacific hasn't started moving yet. He's going to attack. Pushes that away, okay. A little bit slow to react with this. The AT gun, nice. Yeah, I suppose suppose it didn't matter, right? Because the first shot missed. It was okay. Do worry that the first shot landed. But yeah, it's fine. It's fine. Second squad of Fallschirmjäger coming in. Now, this is a situation where you can play for another light vehicle. As the Brit player right now, you've seen them starting to spam infantry. They got one AT gun. Picking up a second Humber. Side taking to the Stuart. Of course, you've always got the backup when playing Australian defence, where even if things go horribly wrong for you, you can just call in an archer later on without having to tech. So that would maybe be the avenue that I'll be thinking about right now. Second light vehicle, maybe with troop training. Boosting up the firepower of my own infantry to match what SEEETH is doing right now. And of course, when you're up against a lot of camouflage units, the Humber's Vet 1 is going to be your friend. So right now, AcrossThePacific is floating way too much manpower yet again. I have seen the AT gun, so you know you're not going to be up against a whirlwind, at least at this particular timing. Maybe if they side tick over to Luftwaffe company, they could get one out maybe at like 15 minutes-ish, but don't have to worry about that, so you don't really need to be pushing out an AT gun right now. So this manpower needs to be spent on something. And you know, I've proposed a couple things. Troop training, second light vehicle. Of course, with Brits, you can always trade in your second light vehicle, so the costs of going for a second light vehicle are so minimal as long as you can keep them alive. In fact, you know, it's free. It's cost you a little bit of population. So it's definitely something AcrossThePacific should be investigating right now. But yeah, even failing that, going for like a Vickers just to like camp on a VP somewhere
5 command points available.
could be a decent option. But you cannot be floating 900 manpower like this at this stage of the game. At any stage of the game. Or maybe if you're stalling up for like a King Tiger, you need 1.5 more command points or something. That'll be about it.
Victory point is in enemy hands.
Okay, luckily, the Fallschirmjäger's run into point blank, so Sapper's winning that fight. Here we go. Humber's dodging away, but it could be a squad wipe against the Tommies. Yeah, they do go down. The Fallschirmjäger vetting up fast, man. Vet 2 on one squad already.
We are losing a victory point to enemy action.
So these guys were attacked, moved forwards.
Victory point under
Drop the sharpshooter. They should be running into close quarters, denying the grenade launcher an opportunity to shoot. Already have a good matchup by closing the distance. Got good moving performance on the Australians compared to like a regular Tommy. Regular Tommy sitting there without a grenade launcher will be fine, but yeah. Australians,
Sappers have orders to over-repair.
and they've got the grenade launcher, definitely need to be closing the gap. So AcrossThePacific did opt for another Australian. But the Fallschirmjäger obviously absolutely shredding. Can't be fighting a 2-on-1 with a vet disadvantage like this.
Australian infantry are in reserve.
Humber's finally healthy and it's got over up here.
Heavy machine gun has been deployed for you.
So AcrossThePacific right now needs a bit more support play. A lot of units running in one at a time. The reaction times are a little bit slow, reacting to what's happening in the skirmish. And just getting overwhelmed because of it. But this is alright. Oh, unfortunately took an AT gun shot on the way through. They forced us to retreat. But this is going to be a squad wipe on the exit for the Fallschirmjäger.
We've lost contact with our sappers.
Seems to be a decent map for Fallschirmjäger, this one. Seems to be enough light cover for them to get quite a lot of ambush bonuses happening. So, I would say in this situation, Sharpshooter came out very early on. First off, it's like, you know, on a Vet 0 squad, not that important to go for Sharpshooter. But in this situation, I'll probably be prioritizing trying to get into cover first, then using the Sharpshooter.
They've cut us off. Territory's out of supply.
But the Fallschirmjäger tried to charge in. Similar story for them, like they were trying to run across all this open ground. Might have done better if they just sat in cover the whole time. How much health does the Humber have? Okay, would die to 1 AT gun shot, so it isn't safe to bring in. And there's the Vickers. That's a smart idea. Strafe doesn't do that much damage, don't have to worry about it too much if you're not under pressure. And AcrossThePacific has got tech up right now. Could be the situation where you just withdraw the Humber right now and push out a Matilda. I think that would probably be the way to go. Get the Matilda out as fast as possible. There's enough armor to bounce some pack shots. There's the anti-infantry to just slaughter the Fallschirmjäger. And has the survivability. Because so far, the Humber plays haven't been quite dynamic enough, like swapping from side to side, avoiding damage, inflicting a lot of pain.
Our supply line's broken.
So again, fighting from out of cover here, like, sure, it's fine against a Pioneer, but what happens if a machine gun comes? What happens if a Fallschirmjäger comes? You want to be in cover for the next unit too. Repairs interrupted, but Humber's still good. This is the time to pop up the Vet 1 flare from the Humber, turn up the bleed. Make it so they cannot even stand there for a second. I don't think we've seen any Humber Vet 1s. Oh, the moonshot grenade. Oh, two of them. Are they ever going to land? Where are they going right now? Oh, there they go. Like a 20-second delay on them. Look at that, man. That's literally like 25-second delay on those grenades landing. Crazy.
Territory lost.
Who's that bunker coming
Jerry
up?
has 300 points remaining.
Oh, no retreat. Too slow.
Australian infantry have been killed.
Bunker in the middle, okay.
We can conduct supply runs to secure
Machine
additional
gun.
resources.
Didn't retreat. Squad died here. Didn't retreat this. Just dies straight away afterwards. Did get a squad wipe on the other side of the map. It's one of those classic situations, I think. So focused on the squad wipe here, not paying as much attention on the other side, and turns over the Vickers.
Australian infantry support is reporting.
So there we go. The Matilda's on the field. Oh, but the P4's coming out at the same time. I do feel like this Matilda probably could have been on the field about 3 minutes earlier. There's the trade-in. So generally my approach with Australians is I would prefer to get the weapon upgrade over just spamming the sharpshooter ability. Invest in their long-term survivability
Word from the front. Our Australian
and
infantry were killed.
long-term firepower rather
The
than
enemy has claimed a sector.
one-off pot shots. Might take some experience over time. Get familiar with that. So At least the squad did retreat before they started getting absolutely roasted after the defensive bonuses got removed, so that's okay, but overall, seems like AcrossThePacific having trouble multitasking across the battlefield. You know, so do I, if I don't use the tactical map. And especially in COH3, where like the sound across the map isn't as easy to track what's going on as it was in COH2. But yeah, that's where the tactical map comes in.
Victory point lost. The enemy has control.
So this is a very tough spot now for AcrossThePacific. He's outnumbered in population, up against double AT guns now, which can be a bit of a handful. Like with Brits, you don't really want to side tech to a bishop, and 1v1s is just not very good. I have been trying double mortars occasionally, and they're all right now after all the mortar changes, but they're not elite. And the problem right now would be that AcrossThePacific doesn't have
Infantry training completed.
anything to defend them. So if they get pushed by the Fallschirmjägers, they're just going to get overrun. There we go. Double Matildas now making it work.
Victory point belongs to the enemy.
Is it load bearing? Then it's fixed.
No, I think AcrossThePacific's gone for the boosted up caches here. I'm more of a fan of the tripwire flares. Is that what they're called?
Victory points. Act now.
Like, when are you ever going to be building cache in 1v1s, really? Like, just about never, right? Whereas the tripwire flares, you know, they could get some nice hits on these low model count squads, inflict quite a lot of bleed. Still got a lot of units that can plant them, so that would be my choice. And, you know, sometimes when you're playing Australian defense, you don't go for the creeping barrage. There's not that much to spend your munitions on after all the upgrades and stuff, so yeah, I would prefer the tripwires. And so far, I don't think we've seen SEEETH bring out sweepers too much, but
Damnation.
don't think there have been any mines for him to worry about at the same time. So double Matildas are out, but they are a bit inactive. They don't really have that much support in terms of infantry nearby them.
Mortar tube and crew are available.
So again, sitting out of cover to fire off a sharpshooter,
We have 300 points.
and they're not reacting at all.
Territories exposed out there. Lines been cut.
So reaction times need some sharpening up.
The beggars are threatening a fuel.
You don't want to be sitting like...
Outpost is under enemy fire.
You don't want to be sitting in a bad fight just to get one shot off that, you know, is against a unit behind heavy cover. It's not going to help you win a fight, win that fight. If you've got some kind of grand plan where this is going to help you force away a particular unit so you can come in from a different angle, or it's going to help you overwhelm them, sure, but if it's just trying to chip away at a unit in a spot where it just doesn't matter, then there's no point. So the double Matilda's really struggling to pin the Panzer IV. But the Aussies find the AT gun. They're getting quite a lot of damage onto it. Matilda's a little bit slow backing away and decides to back away in this direction, which is probably the right choice. Just because if you tried to go this way, the Panzer IV could chase, but there's also maybe a spot where the AT gun could have been landing some attack rounds. But it looks like SEEETH didn't have sharp enough control to execute that. So it's risky either way, but felt like maybe AcrossThePacific was kind of angry that he was doing so little damage to the Panzer IV at the start of the fight. He's kind of stayed in the fight for longer just to try and have the RNG swing back in his favor again. Which I sometimes do myself, but it's not a good response to getting screwed by the RNG. Just stayed in the fight for a little bit too long.
The beggars are threatening a victory point.
Off the Faust a little bit early there, SEEETH, but that was a good idea.
Victory point is in enemy hands.
So in this situation, as across Pacific, I would be looking to get the Archer. Is it 6 command points to get? I think you can maybe call one in right
Victory
now.
points are under enemy control.
How do I
We
change
must
views?
counterattack.
Yeah, he can get one right now. So that's what I'll be going for instead of the AT gun. I do worry that right now, with the way Across Pacific has been playing his slow reaction times,
The tide
he's
is
just going to get the
turning.
AT gun
enemy is in
decrewed
the
by the
lead.
Fallschirmjäger and then stolen or killed. Whereas at least the Archer can generally like stay out of the reach of the AT guns pretty well with its long range.
And crew
And the
on the field.
Fallschirmjäger aren't much of a threat to it, especially if it's got over repair enabled on it. So that's what I'll be doing instead of building an AT gun right now. Feels like Cross Pacific maybe thinks that he's well protected here because he's got some heavy cover sandbags, but most of his squad's actually not really in cover there.
Infantry attacking! Spread out!
And speaking of,
We've just lost
Here it
an
is.
anti-tank gun. We should use our command points ASAP.
decent retreat forced over there. See, probably should at this stage be pushing up on this AT gun and killing it, you know. Probably push it along this way, bring his AT gun up and kill this pretty easily. See, using more Panzer IVs now. Going for officers' quarters on them as well.
Archer TDs ready for construction.
And just slow reaction times. Don't be afraid to just hit retreat super fast when you're up against a unit like Fallschirmjäger.
We're losing a victory point.
At their most lethal for those first 7.5 seconds, is it? So you see it, a bad fight, you know you're going to drop 3 models, just retreat before they even get the chance to take them down. So triple cap should be coming up here shortly.
Commander, enemy forces hold all victory points.
The one good thing for Across Pacific is that generally the Fallschirmjäger have been like right next to each other pretty much the whole game, so if you know where they were at one stage, you can probably expect them to be there the whole time. It does make you more free to maybe operate on the other side of the map if you know their position, or once they've been forced to retreat from that side, you know you're open to then go in and capture pretty freely. Bit of a slow reaction time from the Matilda here. So he really wants to kill this machine gun before getting out. The T-gun is coming up to support now. Got the skirts popped on the Panzer IVs. Second AT gun coming up now for SEEETH. Matilda's armor's doing a pretty good job so far, but could be in some trouble. The second P4's coming in. And here comes the loiter. Oh, but the loiter's on the other Matilda over here rather than on this one trying to kill it. Bit of a strange choice.
Is taking damage.
P4's going in.
Lord, one
Gets
of
the
our
kill.
heavy tanks is destroyed. Requisitioning Archer TDs.
P4's going to get away as well. Matilda. So at this stage, yeah. Cross Pacific. Oh, we can talk about that a bit later on.
We've 100 points left. There's still the tank
There's
knocked
Matilda.
out in the
I think
field.
it's going to be surrender soon, so I'm going to pause it here. Okay, so Cross Pacific. First off, start out with 2 sappers, 2 Aussies. Fine start. But then after that, I think floated up to over 500 manpower before the next unit came in. Like, yeah, it might have even been like 800 manpower before the next unit came in. So that gave SEEETH a lot of opportunities to come back after that early, like whatever this was, Kettenkrad, Lagspa, AFK kind of moment. Should have been completely dominant on the map after a kill like that with the capping power of sappers and Australians, but instead actually had a slight map disadvantage. So, yeah, got to tighten up the build timings, and then, you know, cascading down from that, the Humber came in late, which I think the Humber was still a fine choice because, as I mentioned, no snares on the Falchion Pies makes them very easy to kill with your Humber. But at that stage, maybe, you know, you're a little bit behind, things aren't going that well. Worth considering doubling down kind of at the light vehicle phase and relying on the call-in later on. Try and turn up the bleed to your best of your abilities, combining that up with infantry training at that stage, especially when you see like SEEETH has gone for so much. I think at one stage did he have 3 Falchion Pios, 2 Falchion Jaegers around that timing, and he had gone for Panzergrenadier Company instead of Luftwaffe Company, meaning you don't have to worry about the Wehrmacht. So that's the opportunity where you can see, okay, I kind of need to fight fire with fire. He's gone for veterancy training on Fallschirmjäger. They're going to be very powerful, so I need my own infantry to be powerful, and I can handle the setback. Or I'm trying to push out a vehicle as fast as possible. But the second option, not as viable just because the map control wasn't there, the fuel wasn't there to support a fast tech into like a super fast Crusader or something like that. So doubling down, trying to strengthen up to meet the challenge would have been good. Overall, standing out in the open to fire off a sharpshooter is just not what you want to be doing in just about any scenario, especially not up against an ambushing Fallschirmjäger who are just tearing you to shreds. Really not what you want to be doing. Say getting into cover, high priority, or just retreating. Unless, you know, you just really need to chop off one model to try and win the engagement, to try and then maybe open up the map on that side or do something. Unless there's like a specific purpose behind it, I wouldn't be going for it. The multitasking, as I said, I'm not sure if you're using tactical map, but should be, you know, felt like a few of those early game moments playing on both sides of the map, suffering badly on the other side because of it. But yeah, once the Matildas came out, there was still a window there when there were 2 Matildas against 1 Panzer IV, and something could have happened. If I think at that stage, you'd probably be best to just like bunch up your army and just thrust it through a specific spot. You know, you got your sweeper together, double Matildas can clear away anything. They've got enough armor to frontally bounce the AT guns pretty reliably and just push through, because SEEETH, you know, machine gun bunker didn't have any suppression, so you're not going to get your infantry suppressed and then caught out in a push like that. So your infantry should be able to hang with your tanks for a bit longer. Tanks can force away the infantry can force away the AT guns, and you can gain a lot of ground that way, maybe get some AT gun decrews or steals. Maybe that's the comeback mechanic after falling behind in the earlier stage. But I feel like maybe the Matildas were maybe a little bit inactive, kind of reluctant to use them. No, they did get used kind of on opposite sides of the map a bit, but yeah, it just felt like they could have been a little bit more active. And once the second Panzer IV came out, that window had kind of closed, because then 2 Panzer IVs are too much of a threat to the Matildas to kind of use them in isolation without, you know, like maybe double AT gun support or whatever. And then, yeah, at the end phase, as I said, you had enough command points to bring in the Archer. I'm pretty sure you had the fuel for it as well. So I probably would have gone for that over the AT gun, just for the sake of strength, mobility, and not falling victim to the Fallschirmjägers as often. But yeah, SEEETH did get a lot of value out of the Fallschirmjäger ambush this game. Much more than I usually see. So he did very well in that department. I'll give him credit for that.
Australian infantry have been killed. Archer tank destroyers are available. We're losing a fuel point
Okay,
to
double
enemy
mortars,
action.
sometimes it can work okay against team weapons. Sometimes.
Platoon CP
But
is being attacked.
probably, you know, if you've got like a machine gun camped in the middle, just
We're
guarding
losing a
one
strategic
VP,
point.
2 mortars behind it, go all right in those scenarios.
We have infantry. They've cut us off. Territory is out of
And if
supply.
there's some talk going on or
Our
something we can't
victory
read.
point is being overrun.
So AcrossThePacific still trying, even though he's down to just like 1 archer in a dream.
Victory
3
point
Panzer
under enemy
IVs.
control.
A big VP deficit steering him down. Already lost control of the cutoff, so it's not a huge amount of value to capping this fuel right now. Be squad wipe. Somehow isn't in cover there. Oh my goodness.
We're losing a
Before coming
victory
in for the
point
base
to
inspection,
enemy
looking to polish this off.
action. Section command post is under fire.
Base is a bit congested here. Can't find the angle with the archer or the AT gun.
Enemy has control.
Panzer IV's waiting on the other side. Archer's not having a fun time right now. Keep down and yeah, closing the tower there. So yeah, just a few things to sharpen up there in terms of multitasking across the map, making sure the build order's been sharpened up and not floating as much, and then a few tactical tweaks, maybe regards to like fighting when behind, how to maybe, you know, make a show of strength now before your enemy hits their next tick timing unit, overwhelm them, take a dominating amount of map control, make them fight hard to get back onto the map, and then use that advantage to kind of catch up and tick yourself. It is a valid way to play, especially when you've got a call-in tank to fall back on. Well, anyway, guys, a wrap on that. If you like a game to be cast by me, details are in the video description below. Otherwise, I'll catch you all for the next thrilling installment. Goodbye and good luck.